If you fast forward to 2008, when Obama's, after he's elected, before he became president, Michael Hayden, the CIA director, a retired four-star Air Force general, was taking the position, which is well supported, that you can't solve these problems from the air alone. You have to change conditions on the ground. Now, of course, Obama detests war and wants to rightly avoid some massive ground force campaign in the Middle East or anywhere, but the result has been, I believe, that the United States comes off as kind of this humble superpower with this giant military, but the president is so reluctant, with good reason, to use it. Now we're in this very, very odd position where, you know, what do we do? And the idea, at least the theory, the strategy seems to be the U.S. will conduct this air campaign, and we will use ground forces from other countries. I don't know, if you look at this, how it's going to work. Go back to the first Gulf War, almost 25 years ago, 1991. President Bush Sr. conducted 38 days of bombing. Saddam Hussein's forces in Kuwait, 100,000 sorties. They still needed a ground war to win. So how are you going to get there to some sort of victory? I don't see it.
Right, and Bob, it actually seems that the president's no longer leading from behind. He's actually being dragged from behind by France and by others who are very concerned. And we're hearing from our allies across the Middle East, they fear getting in because they fear the president won't be there to back them up. I'm wondering if this is not perhaps one of the most glaring examples of generals fighting past wars, where you actually have a commander-in-chief who is so determined not to repeat the mistakes of his predecessor, that we've allowed 200,000 people to die in Syria, have allowed a massive destabilizing refugee crisis. It was destabilizing the Middle East and now is destabilizing all of Europe.
Well, I think it's a little severe to say he's not leading. He says he's got a theory here, but the theory is containment. And containment means, in so many ways, the status quo. And I think there are lots of people, and there are lots of military experts and people in the Pentagon who say the status quo is not enough. We need, if the goal, at least as articulated by the president and everyone, is to destroy the Islamic State, you don't do it with a policy of containment. Now, this